I've talked about shamanism, but I've never really fully explained what it is, at least to me. Um, Shamanism, for me, what I do is I put on drumming music. It's just a constant beat of a drum. What it ends up doing is if you lay down and close your eyes, it tricks your brain into thinking that it's asleep. And it's a way to induce visions or dreams. You can have a waking dream doing shamanism. It's a practice for me. I basically look at it as an active prayer because I can't do meditation. So shamanism allows me to let my mind go. And to me, what I know spiritually is that there's only two sides, this side and the other side. We're on this side. When we die, we go to the other side. That's what ends up happening spiritually. And our whole existence has been what I believe and what I've learned because of the shit that I went through as a kid, being raised by Luciferians who were fucking sacrificing kids and worshiping demons, is that this, for those people who are in control, this has been a spiritual thing. And they do it because they worship the fallen angels, because the fallen angels have always been in control. Mankind ate from the garden, or from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and wanted to experience all the evil. And the angels wanted complete control over man to show God that they could turn man completely away from God. That's, basically the gist of the beginning. And so God, Father, said, okay. Funny enough, growing up with Luciferians, the whole issue that the angels had at the beginning was that our Father, has our mother. I know that comes as a controversial thing, but as above, so below. All of us have a mother. Obviously, we have a mother in heaven. And man was given woman. So man and woman. But there are no women angels. They're all men. And so they were angry. And so this group that I grew up with and were abusing and killing kids and abusing the shit out of me, um, they all fancy themselves descendants of the Nephilim, which is angels and humans, women having sex and producing. They all think themselves the Nephilim. That's why they have that shit, like that temple on Jeffrey Epstein's island, just like what they were doing at Hummel Park. There's all kinds of places, They're all rich and connected. And they all, in order to be anybody in this world and be rich, you have to be part of their group. And that's the shit part about it. But now what we find is that Azazel, who was the main instigator, the main leader, and his crew no longer can give them the support and the help that they have. And it is true that they have been able to do whatever they fucking wanted generation wise. Their whole family, their whole lineage has been able to do whatever the fuck it wanted to do and never pay a day's price. But those days have come to an end. And shamanically, when I go inside, I'm just using the shit that Michael Aquino trained me to do at Offutt Air Force Base. Because back in the 60s and 70s, it was all mind over matter and quantum physics and being able to go inside. And they were big on something they called it remote viewing. Um, Other people call it astral projection. They were big into it. Um, I believe spiritually that the kingdom of heaven is inside of us and all around us. So I was able to go inside. And I found shamanism because the shit that they opened up inside of me as a kid was just getting stronger. So, with that said, this is what I know where we are spiritually. The sun isn't going to stop. In fact, it's funny, I just like less than a week ago, I journeyed, and I never talk about my shamanic stuff because nobody wants to hear it. Probably nobody wants to hear it on this video, but I am going to leave the comments open because I'm just curious. But in the journey, I was standing and I saw a beam come out of the sun, and it was a beam of plasma. And I didn't think anything of it because I didn't believe that it worked that way. You know, when they have stuff, it usually generates out, so you kind of get it dispersed. And so I didn't think a beam, so I didn't say really anything. Well, the very next morning, I was talking to my sister who had been up late into the night watching the Weather Channel, and she was telling me that they're afraid that we're going to get hit with a beam of plasma, and it's going to be so concentrated and so powerful that when it hits us, it's going to suck all of the ozone. Whatever ozone we have left, it's going to suck it right out of the sky. And they were saying that they are pretty sure this is going to happen because it's happened 3 times over on the sun. The fallen no longer can help them. Azazel and his crew no longer offer, and look at what's happening to our leaders all around the world. All around the world. All their shit, all their secrets are starting to come out. And the days of being able to do whatever the fuck it is you want to do and say and all of that are over. And yes, we're seeing Nazis march in Florida, but that in and of itself is one of their distractions. Because the truth is, hurricane season hasn't even started. FEMA's almost out of money. A lot of the people that were involved that lost everything had no insurance because you can't get insurance. And the rich people, it was all of the rich properties. The hurricanes are taking out the choicest properties along the coast. And hurricane season hasn't even started yet. It's a distraction. But we're at the end. And in the new garden, where everything is waking up, everything that's dying here is waking up. Like the penguins. Now they're saying mass penguins, die off. I believe that's the reason why we lost the bees all that time ago. Or we had a depopulation, because I believe that the bees are waking up on the new earth. Because next time around, there's no veil. Mankind will interact with heaven at will, and the people who find themselves in this new garden will breathe joy. Will breathe joy. But unfortunately, we're at a spot where evil has really taken a hold. And there are a lot of people who like to do a lot of evil shit. And the dark is like a virus. And so the darkness is here to claim all of those who won't follow what we were commanded to do. The 2 most important commandments. Love God and life, and love everyone around us. And if you're not doing that, the darkness has a hold of you. And it's about to claim their own. And the funny thing about it is that for these families who have never paid a day's price, their biggest thing is what kind of God would send people into fire. The darkness actually is what you always wanted. Complete separation from the Father, which means there's no light. You don't see anything. The only thing you can do in the dark, eventually, is go to sleep. And when you go to sleep, you will never, ever be woken. And you will do to yourselves in your nightmares what your group was so willing to inflict on everyone else. And in the end, after an eternity of that, the people who have found themselves in the darkness will never again choose the darkness. But the funny thing about it is that if you're not separate from the Father and so you have light, what you find in the darkness is that it is the most amazing garden I've ever seen on the other side. And I've journeyed. I started officially doing what I do journey-wise when I was about 27 years old. And I'm 56 now. And it's been quite the adventure. I used a lot of what Aquino trained me to do at Offutt Air Force Base and all the shit at Hummel Park and all of that to actually really be an effective servant for God. And the people who find themselves in the darkness, the funny thing about it is that if it's not dark to you, you are sleeping in the most amazing garden I've ever seen in my life. You are totally safe and sound, but you're getting exactly what you wanted. You are in complete control of your entire dominion. Complete control of your entire dominion. Because you are in complete control of all of your nightmares. And you'll be influenced by all of the pain and the suffering that was built up that has never had any justice from the very beginning, all the way through. You know, that's what awaits everyone who finds themselves in the darkness. And you bind yourselves to the darkness, you get what you get. And I really do think that the sun is about ready to hit us with the plasma blast that could suck out our ozone. And the reason why I say that is because it's already happened 3 times on the other side of the sun that they know about, that we've been actually able to witness, you know? And so believe it, believe what you want or not. If you have your hearts full of love, you're going to find yourselves in a situation that you cannot only dream about. God will work with you. All of heaven will be there. It will be no veil next time. There's no fallen. There won't be any evil. Joy will be something you breathe in. That's what you get for actually loving at a time that it's so hard to do. We're all being tested. We're all going to be tested. And we're being tested by fire. And the time is running out because the sun is not stopping. In fact, it's just building. You know, it just keeps getting worse. And so even if they're saying, oh, the solar maximum is over, okay, someone tell the sun that, you know, it's all about eternity, you know, and this is all getting ready to end. We're at the time of sorrows. So reach into your hearts and love as much as you can. Save yourselves because you don't want to find yourselves in the dark. I'm telling you, you don't want to find yourselves in the dark. Okay.